One, going for two live. We're back again. Somehow, week 7 with no music, Jeff. Oh, the Gambit button's still up. I fell for it again. Unbelievable. How'd I fall for that? Who am I going to be this week? Let's give a plug to someone. Who are we going to be? Nah. Fantasy cheat? Nah. No. Back to this one. We're just going to stay here. We're going to stay with Going for Two live because apparently that's who I work for. Thank you for joining me. If everyone's joining me, this is fantastic. Thank you. We finally got the button right. Wonderful. It's only Friday night. Welcome to the B-League Pick'ems for Going for Two live. I am your host. Not really a host. A host has people on their show. I'm just the guy talking. It's wonderful. Just a rambling rabbit over here. And we are here with Going for Two live, looking at an underdog-style show, Underdog Pick'ems, using underdog.com. Smash that promo code, GF2, 100% matching deposit up to $100. Get you through the week. What else you got to do? Hang out with your family? Pay attention to your kids? I don't want to do that. I'd rather waste my money. Way of the world. I don't make the rules. It's just, them's the breaks. I'm here, putting some money on the line. No worries. Making people happy at my misfortune. Wonderful times. If this is your first time joining, and it just might be because apparently there's a Facebook group that our lovely Jeff has that has 500 members that he's finally posted this. So we're talking about self-promotion. Where's my promotion, Jeff? No music. No little button thingy over here. Can't get my own little name up there. Yeah, no, we're going to send it to a Facebook group with 500 people in it. They might join. Really? Thank you. I'm here. Great. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. If this is your first time joining, effectively what we do here is we take one game from the morning. We look at the underdog.com props. Obviously, there's a lot of games that we can go through, and it's just you're starting to pick and choose. And obviously, you can with Underdog. You can pick up the 5 different picks up into a parlay and go from there. And obviously, you multiply up by the amount of things that you have in it. It's great. It's fine. I kind of like the parlay into the same game. I like the whole game theory ideal and all that sort of garbage. So I tend to pick one game, find a few props, see where it goes from there, and try that out. Normally, I'll give 1 or 2 alternatives from different games. Just because I have an eye, just have my little eye on it. Just like to have an eye on other couple games and whatever it is. And obviously, how we decipher that, obviously, I look at a few of the games with a higher implied total. Maybe there's more things that can happen. Look, if a game has like an over and under of like 37, okay, everything's going under, except for the running backs who are going to be flogged to death. No worries. But, I like to go with those higher implied total games. Maybe there's more outcomes, more range of motions, maybe more room for error. And I like to take that probability and go into it like that. So I look at the morning games, see what I like from that. Go to the afternoon games in case you want to put some afternoon bets on only. Maybe that's where you get to pay attention. Look, I've got a couple of kids. I've got things to do on Sundays. For me, I'm the best chance to have a look at what's going on in the afternoon. So the afternoon games from 4 o'clock to 7. So that's where I tend to pay more attention. I kind of skim through the morning. So maybe that's how you get to put your bets on. And at least it gives you an idea of what you can put your bets on from that. And the primetime games, except Denver's playing primetime on Monday. I ain't fucking touching it. Not a chance. I want nothing to do with it. Under. That's what we're doing. Under. Oh, Jamie's on time. Look at him go. Look at him go. Jamie's here. Welcome. Star of the Sunday morning start and sit show. There we go. Look at him go. Brown savant or connoisseur. Which one would you like to be known as, Jamie? A savant or connoisseur? Cleveland connoisseur. There we go. Hashtag Cleveland connoisseur. Jamie Perrog. Here we go. I've got names for days. There we go. Let's win some money. We love it. So that's how I tend to look at these games. The game totals I look at from the start of the week. Just get back on track. Thanks for Jamie. You sidetracked. No worries. A couple interesting games in there. Nothing really sort of floating the boat in that regard. We're looking at, obviously, the Giants-Ravens is an interesting one. I'm going to touch on that today at 45. Dolphins-Vikings, 45. Obviously, Tua and Teddy Bridgewater not starting. Luke Skywalker apparently is the quarterback. I forget what his name is. Something like that. Obviously going through that. San Fran, Atlanta. I feel like that's a 44 and a half. I feel like that's a little bit, personally, obviously San Fran gets a lot of our attention through the week. I kind of find it funny that game with Atlanta is under, or is at 44 and a half. Sorry, to be honest with you. I feel like both of those teams are capable of putting up more points. To see that low at the start of the week was kind of weird. Jets Packers at 45 and a half at the start of the week was kind of interesting too. But I am going to go for some reason. I hate it. Listen, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something right now. I'll tell you what, Jamie, you hang around to the end. We'll touch on the Browns game. How about that? We'll do that. We'll touch on the Browns game later. I don't mind. I'll give some bonus content. Bonus content. There we go. B for B League stands. There's a B's for bonus. There we go. Something like that. Why not? I hate betting on the Giants. I hate betting on the team that I like to support. I'm a Giants guy. Look, I'm in New York. A Giants guy. It was at the time I moved here 10 years ago. My wife said, my family are Jets supporters. You can't do that. I said, okay. Giants just win the Super Bowl. I'm thinking, all right, no worries. It's going to be golden from here. Garbage. Basura. Poubelle. Terrible. We're going to go with the Wink Martindale revenge game. So Giants, Ravens in New York at the Meadowlands. One of these teams is 4-1 and the other team isn't. Go figure. Before we get more silly. I looked at a few different props in this game. Kind of interesting how it broke down. Lamar Jackson, look, there's only so much this guy can do with Devin Duvernay, Tylan Wallace, and DeMarcus Robinson. And I feel bad for this guy because when Bateman was out there, that 1 or 2 games that he was out there before he got hurt, and please believe me, we got the doc on every Monday night. You hear mid-foot sprain, he screams at us, what do you think? And me, Kyle, and Gladys say, where's Frank? Yeah, because it's probably a mid-foot sprain. That's why we're going to see him for 6 to 8 weeks. It's probably going to happen. Tune in every Monday night to the 2-point conversion pregame show. We got the TFS doc. Dr. Jim Ferretti at goingfordo.com. So Lamar Jackson, he's got he started off the week at 290 and a half total yards. And that was kind of bugging me out because 290, I was like, there's not a chance in hell he's getting the 290. 290 with just Mark Andrews. And to be honest, the Giants, they were saying last week, one of the best third downs, one of the best teams on third down defense, which is wild. And you look at the games they play. No one's really blown the Giants out this year. Which is kind of insane when you think about it. Like, I don't want to think about the Giants being a good team because they're not. I like that the Giants are terrible. Everyone wants their team to be successful. Me? Nah. I don't want that. I don't want my team to be successful. I just want them to be average. Just be competitive. Don't be disgraceful. We don't want any of this. But you look at it. Look, Giants, here we go. Week 1, where are we? Kept the Titans to 20. Week 2, no. Week 2, kept the Panthers to 16. Week 3, lost to Dallas to 23. Week 4, kept Chicago to 12, although that doesn't seem too hard, does it, Washington? Yes. Beat the Packers week 5, kept them to 22. The Giants aren't getting blown out or having points dumped on them. They're not having to chase anyone either. So to think that Lamar Jackson can throw them, and the Giants' run defense is pretty decent. Thank you, Christian McCaffrey. Go check that game out. Derrick Henry week 1, doubled down. Don't remember what the Packers did last week. Not much. So their run defense is pretty good. And it's only Mark Andrews at this point. So Lamar Jackson down to 274.5. I hate that it's dropped 16 points, but I was going lower anyway. So for me, Wink Martindale, I think I'm still going to side with under 274.5. I think this is going to be a real shit game. Yes, it's going to be a real New York Giants at home, mid-October stinker. Welcome to my life. Either way. The Giants options don't seem too bad, though. Actually, I don't think the Giants, I think Justin Tucker's going to kick him to an 18-6 win. That's what's going to happen here. Giants are going to run up and down the field, miss a few field goals, no worries. That's what I got here, based on my picks. Saquon Barkley, higher than 113.5 combined yards. He's now down to 105.5. So that's the benefit. Like, obviously, at the start of the week, if you go and test, if you can go and check all these different betting sites, Prize Picks, you can go to DK, all these different prop joints, you can find out where the edge is and see who has higher bets, lower bets, and all sorts of stuff. 3 days ago, Saquon Barkley is at 113.5. I was going higher anyway. I was. I liked it. I really did. Sam Ellinger passes Nick Foles on the depth chart. Okay, great. Thank you for that information that I can live without. Very good. So Saquon Barkley's been absolutely tearing it up. 105.5 total yards. Yeah, it's happening. That's you can book that in. 105. I don't like going, especially those higher numbers. You're going to see, like, we're going to talk about Josh Allen a little bit later. Let me tell you something. I'm not over the moon about those numbers, but my God, he's got Kansas, so we'll talk about that a little bit later. So Saquon Barkley higher, which should be a bit of fun. Daniel Jones is going to be up. He started the week 235.5 total yards. He's now at 243.5. When that week started, you would have sat there and thought, there's no way. Like, he's rushing some of the rushing yards. He's at 60, 70 yards, give or take, 30-odd yards, 40-odd yards. He's getting those rushing numbers up, and he's passing to absolute numpties. So you're looking at Daniel Jones here thinking 235 at the start of the week, and obviously then you might have gone higher. Another 8 yards tacked on top, maybe not. I feel like he's going to be running for his life, and when he does those games, he's going to look at 60, 70 yards. So if you weren't too sure about where Daniel Jones was on this one, and I don't blame you at all, you could probably go 35.5 yards rushing over instead. So that's where I'd be leaning on him now. So as soon as they put his numbers up a little higher, it's just, he could, if he kind of gets going, Wan'Dale Robinson looks like he's going to be there. I don't think he's going to make that much of a difference. So you really bank on him going nuts. And obviously the Ravens pass defense, it's a bit sketchy. It's at the best of time, it's sketchy, right? But they did also keep Cincinnati to lower than 20, right? So who knows? So 235.5 at the start of the week, I would have gone higher. 243.5. I like living on the edge. If we think he can go higher than 35.5 rush yards, which I believe he will, he's going to get there. Daniel Jones higher than 243.5. We're going to take it. Wild. The idea of taking Lamar Jackson lower than 274.5 and Jones higher than 243. Gross. Again, it all just works out how it's going to be. Look, no Bateman. There's no other threats other than Andrews. I don't like it. Giants have one of, if not the best, third down defenses in the NFL this year. Yeah. Really don't like it at this point. $52 yards a game on average for running backs through the air against the Ravens. 52.5. I don't think that means much for Matt Breida. Brian Daboll might have to get creative. We'll see. We will see. Fuck yeah, James. Fuck yeah. We're going to talk about the Cowboys-Eagles game in about 20 minutes. Tony Pollard to the moon. To the moon. Tony Pollard's going to have a big one this week. I can feel it in my loins. It's going to happen. Alternate morning game picks, we're looking at Breece Hall higher than 75.5 combined yards. That's what he started out at the week. Now he's up to 83.5 yards. I don't give a shit. Breece Hall's going to go fucking bonkers against the Packers because everyone does. Side chat, we had a little discussion about ranting, a few of us, during the week. And as a nice Packers, full press coverage Packers podcast you people should listen to. The one people they didn't blame were the people that own the Packers organization for their shambles, which is the people themselves. Whatever. Good rant. Doesn't have to go anywhere. Doesn't have to make sense. I just proved my point. So Breece Hall, look, he had 100 receiving yards last week. Wild. Should have been a touchdown. He was robbed at the end there. Packers, their defense is not what they have been built to be. They just don't look great, do they? Drafted some nice young players. They kept some players as well. Just not happening for them. So the Jets, Zach Wilson, he might have an actual good game this week, which would be wild. But hey, if Daniel Jones can look half respectable, Zach Wilson can too. The other one I like, look, I think this is like a water is wet sort of a thing. Tom Brady, higher than 285 passing yards, which is down to 278.5, then back up to 289. Someone at Underdog is schizophrenic because those numbers shouldn't vary like that. Tom Brady's been going freaking bananas lately. Like, the idea that, like, with bad receivers, he had 271 yards. Rashad Perryman, Scotty Miller, some other guy I don't even remember, the ghost of Tyler Johnson with like Cam Brait. 271 with those guys. I wish my quarterback could throw 271 with those guys. Now he's got 289.5. Yeah, no worries. 351, 385, up around. Past 2 weeks, 52 pass attempts for Tom Brady. 52 pass attempts a week for Tom Brady. Yeah, no, he won't go that. He won't do it. He won't get to 289.5. Don't bet the lower. Bet the higher. Bet the higher. It's gonna happen. Thinking otherwise. Imagine not thinking otherwise. Wild. Game picks of the afternoon. There's a couple stinkers in there, but a couple decent games as well. Arizona, Seattle's the game I'm going to look at the start of the week. Applied total of 50.5. Bills, Chiefs at 54 at the start of the week. It broke. Now, I could have picked more Bills, Chiefs players here. I really could have. But when I put the show together on a Wednesday, there was nothing on no one for this game. It was wild. I'm sitting there, why is there no props for this game? I'd be scared too if I was Underdog putting props out. Everyone going to hammer the over. Everyone's hammer. Just over. They're going to hammer the over. If they had to put their props out on Wednesday, I'd have waited till today too. Hammered. They would have hammered everything. This game's going to go freaking bananas, which is great. That's what we want. Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes going freaking mental. Well, Gabe Davis had like 200 yards last time they played, right? Yeah, we want that to happen again. You watch James Cook's going to pop up for like 130 rushing yards. Something weird's going to happen. Morris, the tight end from nowhere, had 30 yards last week. 130. Book him. 3 touchdowns. It's a Lee Smith week. Lee Smith's going to come out of retirement and play. 2 touchdowns, 8 yards. No worries. Let's go. So at the start of the week when I put this together, it was Arizona, Seattle. They were the numbers that I took because obviously, as I said before, there was nothing out there for the Bills and Chiefs. So I went with this game, which I don't have a problem with because like the numbers for this are actually quite logical and reasonable. I kind of liked it. First one. Let's go with it. Zach Ertz, higher than 49.5 receiving yards. Now, this was actually quite tricky because Ertz has been bordering around that 47, 52-yard mark for the past couple of weeks. So to think that he's going to go above and beyond, I don't know. I really don't. But we're talking about a guy averaging 9 targets a game. I don't mind it. Seattle, to be fair, Seattle and Arizona are the 2 worst defenses against tight ends. Wild, averaging around about 80 to 90, 80 yards a game. That's what we're looking at. 80 yards a game. And 4 from 5 with touchdowns as well. So Arizona ain't doing too good. Seattle ain't doing too good in that regard, which is fantastic for us. Do I think he can go above? And yeah, I do. I think he can go above this week. This week, I think he can. And I'm all right with that. Maybe he gets that 63, 64 mark, which I can handle. Where are we here? Where is he? Zach Ertz. 5 receptions. Yeah, he's around that mark. He might go 5 for 60 this week, give or take. And it's still going to hit over. 6 for 60, 6 for 65, give or take. I think he's going to go over, but not by too much. I do like Tyler Lockett this week, though. I think I like Tyler Lockett every week. Yeah, Gerson, and like I hope you guys are going to talk about this tonight. By the way, Armchair Fantasy Show every Friday night at 10:30. Gerson, Tim, and Jeff. Cash and DFS, set your lineups. Get around them every week. I know Jeff will promote that one in the DFS chat groups on Facebook. Not my show. Why would he do that? Just kidding. But the two worst defenses against tight ends are up. So Will Dissly, even this week, I think Will Dissly is a very cheap play in DFS as well. If I remember, it's like 3,300, give or take. Won't get the yards, worth a touchdown, give or take. He could be there. But Zach Ertz this week, he is very much worth a look. I like it. Again, the yards I'm concerned about. Again, we've got him at 49.5 here. I think he can go over, maybe 65 if he's lucky. He should hit over on the receptions as well. Again, if you're looking at 9 targets a game against one of the worst, if not the worst against tight ends, I think it's worth a shout. Tyler Lockett, I love against Arizona. Yeah, see, like, this is the thing. It's not hard. It's not hard to do a promo. You just got to say, just got some love, some passion. Get it in there. Some bass in your voice. Get around the boys every Friday night. DFS, GPP plays the pay. That rhymes. Put it on there. Nice little slogan. No kickers. Get out of here, no kickers. Get paid with DFS. Gerson, Tim, and Jeff, 10:30 every Friday night. If not, get the podcast. It comes out the next morning. That's what I do. Take my kid to the park, plug my headphones in, forget what he's doing. He's hanging off a swing somewhere. No worries. Don't worry. I'm getting my deep GPP play in. Pretty good guest appearance by Yeti last week as well. He did all right. Held his own. Loves the Jets. Either way, Tyler Lockett, higher than 69.5 yards he started with. 74. It was down. It's down from 74, now back down to 63. So he's gone higher than 69.5, up to 74, now down to 63. He's bouncing around. Lockett's been killing it. Like, Arizona's defense past it is not bad. To be fair, against wide receivers, they match up right. I think that might be a bit more of a problem for DK Metcalf this week. Byron Murphy's freaking amazing. But he's on one. At the moment, Tyler Lockett's on one. Absolutely on one. He's been had nine targets, 9 receptions, something stupid a game. Right, 5 receptions, over. I can't even say over, it's higher. God, I hope you haven't been drinking to this one. My God. Yeah, about 8 targets a game he's seeing. Punching up around that 90 yards a game. Yeah, no, 63. It's not going to happen because Arizona's pretty good. This game's going to go off. They're going to be throwing it. What are we doing here? No, it's not like we're dealing with, like, Denver and Indianapolis. This is like 2 teams that are showing, like, zero fear. This is the best thing about it. No matter how, like, Arizona are terrible to watch, but my God, like, he'll still throw it out there. I respect it. Whatever. Still going to throw it out there. He's going to give it a go. You're going to run around. It's like a drunk 8-year-old with, like, a remote control car. That's what it's like watching Kyler Murray play. It's like a little drunk 8-year-old, like, I don't know which way it's going, but it's going somewhere. We're going to just jump off a cliff with it. No worries. 63.5 for Tyler Lockett? Yeah, over. Higher. Go higher. Go. We'll lock him in. Why are we even thinking about this one? How? Ron Dalmore is the next one up. So I've got Ron Dalmore in this game, lower than 45.5. I actually hate Ron Dalmore this week. I think he's going to have a stinker. I just don't like it. The return of Greg Dortch. It's going to come back. He's going to have that one game before DeAndre Hopkins pops in. It's going to ruin everything for everyone. Moore's kind of erratic for me. Look, at the best of times. Here's one. Here's a nice rivals one. Here you go. Rondale Moore plus 21.5 versus Tyler Lockett. Lock it in. There you go. Hope you enjoyed it. And a nice little Kyle putt in there. Lockett in. No worries. Ron Dalmore this week, 45.5. I have a problem with how he's going to get there at this point. Look, the targets are there. He's had a 6-target game, 32 yards. He's had a 5-target game, 11 yards. 8-target game, 68 yards. He's kind of all over the place. He's all over the place. He's just nowhere. So for me, like to sit there and go, yeah, he can hit like the median in there, that 45. Yeah, he'll hit the average. I think so. He's going to have a tough week this week, Ron Dalmore, so I'm going lower with him. Bit too inconsistent for me. He needs 50 against a tough pass D. 45, 50. I'm going lower than that. I think he's going to have a rough week. Alternate afternoon game picks. Here's one that's been fun. I love this one because I was going lower anyway. Christian McCaffrey lower. He started the week off at 98.5 combined yards. I don't care. They're going 3 and out every play. You're going to have to touch they're going to have like 50 shots at this for him to go at 2 yards a hit. Like, I know I'm being silly. I'm being facetious. I get it. PJ Walker's in. Don't care. Rams are going to kill him. They're going to kill him. They're going to do it. What's he going to do? He's going to launch one over for Robbie Anderson? Nah. Terrace Marshall's going to have a 4 for 30 game again? Nah. Shai Smith? Nah. It's literally, we're going to try and lock in on Christian McCaffrey and go for that. I'm not even going to like entertain that. But the best part about this, I was going lower anyway. You know, I'm jumping up to 104.5, so they gave me an extra 6 yards to mess around with. I don't care. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, let's just feed McCaffrey. And I get it, because like the last couple of weeks they have been. 104 last week. Oh, guess what? He's at 104.5 now. 54 and 50 with a bad, against like San Fran, they knew what to do to stop him. Pretty simple. 81 receiving yards against Arizona, did 27 on the ground. Nothing. Barely got there. 108 and 7. So he's either blowing up on one side or blowing up on the other. It's just not really put together for him. Last week's the closest it got was 50 apiece. So they're splitting it down the middle in that regard. So he's bordering around that 105, 106 per game anyhow. And now and that was Baker Mayfield's trash. That's with a trash Baker Mayfield. Trash. You know how there was that Zoolander? You guys watched Zoolander, and there was like they did that fashion show at the end called Derelict, and Zoolander was walking around with that trash bag that looked like a suit. That's what Baker Mayfield is, a walking suit of trash. Just garbage. And now they're going to PJ Walker? Okay. Yeah. McCaffrey's going to have a good game this week. Good luck. I get it, I know. Stop being an asshole, Dan. No, never. Now, I said before that we touch on that Chiefs-Bills game. Now, again, I'll reiterate this. Once again, I didn't before because those numbers weren't out at the start of the week. They dropped like this morning. So, yeah, I didn't even get even close to that. So I had a look at them earlier. And off the top of my head, I can tell you now. Where are we? The Josh Allen lines were really interesting because every time that he's played against the Chiefs, he's been the Bills' leading rusher against them. So there's that, right? So we know that he's going to do that. Oh, Darrell Henderson props. Look at them skid about 59.5 rush yards. It's about 19.5 receiving yards. Yeah, okay. Not going to have to do none of that. It's going to be a Malcolm Brown week. Bookmark it. When this happens and it's a Malcolm Brown week, can't believe he'd say that. Why would he say that? Why not? Yeah, so Josh Allen, 297.5 passing yards. Now, that's not too bad. I actually don't mind that. He's only been under 290 once against the Chiefs since he was a rookie. I believe that was his rookie year. So he's only been under 290 once. I mean, well above that 290, 297 mark. So you want to just bet on pass yards and you go higher. Easy. No dramas. His rush yards are at 46.5, which has inflated his total yards to 344.5. I think he could get there anyway with or without. He's going to have a decent rushing day anyway, I think. He might go for 40 or 50. You could look at literally everything that Josh Allen does this week. 2.5 total touchdowns. It should be easy. 28.5 fantasy points. I'm betting on that. Fumbles, interceptions. I don't touch that. But if you wanted to go higher on his rushing yards, total yards, and passing yards, you could. You really could. 89.5 yards for Stephon Diggs. You can go higher there. Gabe Davis, 58.5. Again, he torched him for 200 last time he played him. 3 receptions for 170 yards. They've given this guy 58. 58. 58 yards for Gabe Davis. 58 yards for Gabe Davis. Like, what are we doing here? And these odds came out. You watch tomorrow, I promise you. Get on Gabe Davis for higher. Because you watch what's going to happen tomorrow. He's going to bump up to like 72, 73.5 just to mess with us. He's going over. It doesn't matter. But Bills guys, over. Mahomes. 22.5 rushing yards. Yeah, you could do that. 298.5 passing yards. It'll be close. Jerick McKinnon, 18.5 rushing yards. Higher. He's their best running back. Sorry for the dead silence, but I'm just messing around with it. Either way, let's get to that evening. Before we do, one more time, let's go through it. One more time. Again, subscribe, YouTube. Hit the alert button. Do what you got to do with that. YouTube, do that. Find us every Friday night, 8:30. No worries. Discord server, goingfor2.com. DFS. Find out when all your shows, articles, all that sort of jazz. Find us there. Underdog.com. Promo code GF2. 100% matching deposit up to $100. Get around it. Either way. Evening games we're looking at. Dallas, Philadelphia, 42.5 implied total. Denver and LA Chargers, 45.5. Don't care for Denver, not touching it. But Dallas, Philly, quite interesting really when you think about it. Jalen Hurts' numbers have bounced around over the last day or so. So Jalen Hurts started at 300.5 total yards. Come down overnight to 285.5. I bugged a lot of people. They bumped it up to 289.5. Look, I was going lower than 300 anyway. I think this might be a tighter game than what everyone wants to see or realize. So for me, look, he could. And that's the thing. 290, he could. No reason why he shouldn't if this game blows up, but it probably won't. And Dallas are keeping everyone very tight. Played in Philly, it could go anywhere, but I think he might have a harder game against Dallas, who are just shutting everything down lately. And they've been impressive. They've been really, really damn good. So 289.5, Jalen Hurts, I'm going lower. I do like the higher for Devontae Smith, 53.5 rec yards. Look, if he's paired up with Diggs, his old college roommate or teammate, maybe they're roommates, I don't care. Maybe they sat on the bus together once. Whatever. That I feel like is a very good matchup for him. If he's not, I think he's got a good matchup anyway. So I feel like A.J. Brown might have the harder week, which sounds stupid to say, but I feel like this is going to be a big Devonta Smith week this week. I do love Tony Pollard, though, higher than 33.5 rush yards. Pollard's receiving work the last 3 weeks, non-existent. Non-existent. He's had like 1 target for 2 yards, 1 reception for 2 yards. Receiving work's not there. He's getting all his money on the ground. He's getting his work is all on the ground. Check this out. Last 3 weeks, 1 game he had 8 rush attempts for 6 yards. Garbage. 8 for 86, 13 for 105. All his work is on the ground. 33.5. 33.5 for Tony Pollard. That one's going over. More for it. It's a lock. My God. Total yards for Pollard. Where's he at as well for that? Let me double check on this. Total yards, 50.5. 50.5? Even that. Throw both of them. Damn. Tony Pollard going to have one this week. Either way. Just to recap before we finish up. Just to finish up one more time. Again, youtube.com. Come over here. Hit the subscribe button. Then over there, I think that's what you're looking at. You want to hit the alert button. Join me every Friday night, 8:30. Go over your underdog props at underdog.com. You want a promo code GF2, 100% matching deposit up to $100. Join us there. Discord server, goingfor2.com. Find us there for or your DFS needs, start and sit trade advice. Everything you can find all under one umbrella. Everyone's accessible. Verified user accounts. You want to talk to the doc about a ninja player you got one. You want to speak to Yeti about props, you got him. Ryan about dynasty work, you got him. Gerson for DFS, Tim for DFS, you got him. Find us all there. Easy. Don't bug me, though. I've got shit to do on Sundays. Everyone else, not me. Stay away from me. Easy work. One more time before we get going. One more time. Morning picks. Ravens and Giants. Lamar Jackson, lower than 274.5. Saquon Barkley, that's total yards, sorry. Lower than 274.5 total yards. Saquon Barkley, higher than 105.5 total yards. Daniel Jones, higher than 235 or 243.5 total yards. See wherever that goes. It might change in the next day or two. Also, like Breece Hall, higher than 83.5, and Brady, higher than 289.5. I hate taking higher bets, but my God, it's going to happen. Looking in the afternoon game, Zach Ertz higher than 49.5 rec yards. Lockett higher than 63.5 rec yards. Rondale Moore lower than 45.5 rec yards. Also, Christian McCaffrey lower than 98.5 combined yards or 104.5, doesn't matter. 104.5 combined yards, McCaffrey is going lower. And Josh Allen higher in everything you want. Just book him. Also in the evening games, Dallas, Philly, Jalen Hurts lower than 289.5 combined total yards. Devontae Smith higher than 53.5 rec yards. And Tony Pollard higher than 33.5 rush yards or 50.5 total yards. Again, you can find us every day just about. Start and sits, Sunday morning, no dramas. Sorry, I had to hop off. I'm on a live show with Rum Boys now just starting. How am I meant to do my Browns picks if you're on another show, Jamie? Jamie! The man that runs the Sunday morning show. He's just like leaving me high and dry for another show. I gave you a nickname as well. Cleveland Connoisseur. He's leaving me. Did they give you a nickname over there? No. No. Here you go. I've got one for you. David Njoku, higher than 39.5 rec yards. We're going to go with Amari Cooper against New England. Higher than 4.5 receptions. We're going to go. Just because I'm doing it. I ain't even checked. This is what we're doing. Jacoby Brissett higher than 207.5. There you go. There's your three for the Cleveland game. Before you leave me for Rumboy Robbie's show. Oh, I'm sorry. He's got a better show. And they have more fun. More viewers. Promotion from their people. No. Thanks, Jamie. Catch your show every Sunday morning. There you go. Start and sit. There we go. Sunday morning, get all the information you need before we set your lineups. Again, as always, tonight, Armchair Fantasy Show, 10:30. DFS GPP cash game. Get your best value plays. It's all fun and game to have game theory and then the Browns and Colts play. The Broncos and Colts play. And everything just goes out the window. So I hope for your sake, I hope there's a high-scoring game with lots of things that happen. And I don't care who wins. I support neither. I support you, though, Jamie. Either way, get those DFS, GPP, and cash plays tonight. Catch up with us every Monday night at 7 o'clock. Kyle, the Doc, and Gladys with myself. Monday night prop bets from Underdog. Get all the injury analysis you need to make sure that you can set your lineups the best. Going to go off with this one. Fuck yeah, Dan. Yeah. The good thing this isn't like a podcast the next morning because I don't want to hit that explicit tag either way. It doesn't matter. Thank you for joining me. Thanks for tuning in every Friday night. We had a bit of fun this week. Can't believe I bet on the Giants. I hate betting on the Giants. I don't ever like doing it. It's just doesn't doesn't ever make me feel good. But either way, have a great weekend. Take care of yourselves. Look after each other. Happy betting and good.